Anything interesting happening out there in the world with everybody?
Very windy here in Kansas, like 40 mile an
Windy.
hour, 50 mile an hour winds.
Ah, well, it is how it is, right?
Right. It was nice yesterday.
Welcome, Bob, to the group. Nice to see you here.
Just a little heads up. So Bob has been following Hundo Club since day zero. Am I correct on that,
Oh,
Bob? So he's been watching from the sidelines, and he's been having high hopes for this for a while. So this is the first time I actually get to see him in person, and we've been talking for months and months and months. So it's good to so good to see you, Bob.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a great day.
every day is a great day. As my mentor used to say, if your day is not amazing, it's your job to make it that way. All righty. So we got about 2 more minutes before we kick this off. Anybody have anyone else that they're needing to show up, sending out invites, anything of that nature? Sending out one myself, just Other than that, I guess we're pretty much good. So everyone, welcome to the Hundo Club. Today, like as I said, we're doing a couple things that are a little bit different. So one of those things is it's my honor and privilege to introduce you to the president of Hondo Club. He is the designer and the creator who initiated both the website and everything that we have at this moment. In his first 4 years of active duty, he was awarded more medals and ribbons than most officers acquire in 10 years. He has an open door mindset and philosophy where he fully listens to the situation before positioning a solution. I have personally witnessed this as I've seen him drop everything in his personal schedule to help out multiple veterans who were in a crisis situation. And without further ado, we have our president, Christopher Raymond.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me that warm welcome, Ian. The first thing about Hundo is it's all about who. It's about you guys, right? So it's about giving what we can do for you first. So that's what we've came to the conclusion, me and the co-founder here, Mr. Ed Finch here, is there is a traumatic problem in our society when it comes to the welfare on a social scale, as well as a aspect for veterans on a grander scale. So we're not talking about small numbers here. We're talking 1,100,000 veterans that are left in the dust and left behind, and so many other aspects. So we're looking not just to solve veteran problems, but also solve social problems on a geographical scale. You're talking literally cleaning up an entire mess and system that's being generated. So it's a very ambitious goal we have. We everybody here has been getting help in some shape or form, and it's not just me. It's everybody in a cohesive mind. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. And this just says that everyone's believing in this cause and they know it's happening. So thanks be to God. I got nothing else right now.
Okay. I believe after that, you're passing it off to the prayer or whatever was going on that got thrown in at the last minute. All right. I guess we'll just go on to our vice president, Mr. Finch, then. I believe you were going to talk about the vision.
Yes, thank you. So anybody that doesn't know me yet, I'm Ed Finch, the Vice President of Hondo, and as Chris said, the privilege of being the co-founder. Just before we get to the vision, just to give you a little bit of background, I'm here to help coach people and support and help deliver and create and deliver the vision for Hondo. Chris and I work very closely together. What you see today is a result of us brainstorming extensively and working like crazy in the background to get as much built as possible. So I know from our senior leadership team that we've brought up, there's been some requests to get a picture of the big vision, and we've talked about this on some of the earlier webinars we've had. But I wanted to just really give you a feel for where we're going. As Chris says, in the US alone, 18.5 million veterans. That's going to continue. Yes, sadly, some veterans will pass on, and there will be a constant flow of new veterans. The big issue is people are coming out and they're accessing the vet services, but it's not entirely meeting needs. The armed forces, all of the armed forces, and you all know this, they prepare you for military life, but the preparation is minimal compared to where it needs to be. Our big vision is to change that, all of it. We're basically taking the rule book from all of the armed forces. We're taking rule books from business. We're taking rule books and systems from wherever we can find them, and we're amalgamating them. And then we're throwing the rule book out, and we're saying, let's take the best of everything and create our own. And let's just create something that is going to be so powerful that there's going to come a point where there are no more veterans living homeless, no more veterans having jobs below their status and below their abilities. And as we stand by this, no one left behind. We don't want anyone left behind. This is something we've started, something that is going to live on long after we've left. But in our lifetime, we want to see every veteran in the US get the needs that they have met in every possible way that we can. And we are going to do our utmost. We're going to do everything. We've built a very holistic system here. We've built something that doesn't exist and hasn't existed for centuries. But it stands on us testing out our theories in this beta mode and getting as much input and as much feedback and as many new fresh ideas as we can from everybody, so that we know that we are not only meeting your needs, but exceeding your needs. And we also have some fun along the way. And one of the things that I loved seeing is these film references, and we've been joking around a bit about Star Trek, and in particular the Borg. Those of you who watch Star Trek know what we're talking about, and well, we joke about this, but actually there's a serious point to it. I think it's a very relevant reference, because whilst the Borg had the pet phrase "resistance is futile," they had a huge strength. Their strength was their collective mind. They went around absorbing all of the best technologies, all of the best knowledge, everything that they could find, they absorbed. But what they did when they absorbed that knowledge and that information, and they collected all the memories and everything that they'd learned throughout their lives, they shared it with the whole collective. They were one hive mind. And the one hive mind is one element that we are trying to build in Hondo. We want one community of veterans sharing, supporting each other, everything as a collective. We're going to be such a powerful force that the world has never seen. We're going to take veterans and the respect that you get in society, and we're going to take it to the highest level. Not just because you deserve it, which you rightly do. You served your country. Most of you have suffered to various degrees as a result of your serving your country. That no longer matters, because you've got every single member here supporting you. and we're going to give you the access to your benefits you're entitled to. We're going to give you the moral support. We're going to give you business support. We're going to give you everything that you need to get not just on a better footing, a better life, but to achieve your true potential and serve a new purpose, a new mission, which is a big part of what we're doing, a new mission to serve the veteran community with all your skills and abilities, and serve the public, the community, serve your country, regardless of where you're living, and show them just what veterans are capable of. You're capable of a huge amount. And this is basically our vision. We've got many, many things in development. We've got many stories. We're going to during this meeting, we're going to give you some flavors of some of the things that are coming. But the big vision is that we absorb into the collective all veterans that we possibly can. Later on, when we've got this tied down and it's absolutely cast iron, we will bring in another branch to Hondo, the active duty. And through that, we will prepare active duty serving personnel will be prepared for life as a veteran. And the best of your experiences will be shared, not just the past experiences, but your current experiences of working with Hondo. We have a full buddy system. So the moment somebody steps off that plane, there's a buddy waiting for them, and there's a whole community waiting for them. There's every resource they can imagine that they would need, many they can't imagine they need, going to be ready waiting for them. This is a massive, massive, massive project that we're taking on. And we've only launched on the 1st of February, and we're already achieving small, in some ways, big ways, and you'll hear a little bit more about this later on. So we're going to keep you updated constantly on some of the things that are happening. But this is basically our vision. We want to provide you with everything we possibly can. And yes, Hondo has got some very advanced systems, and thanks for the work that Chris has been putting in. He's put in a huge amount of work. We've personally committed our time, all of our time, quite a fair bit of our own money as well, getting it to this point. We've built Hondo so that it will be self-financing, and it's going to generate surplus money as much as we can generate to support those in need. Again, nobody gets left behind. So this is just an overview of the vision for Hondo and where we're going, and the types of things that we've got in mind. We are open. We do have a rank system that reflects people's involvement and their commitment to the vet community. We've got an open door. Everything is voted on. Everything is you decide. You vote on all the major decisions, and your input, everybody's input, is vital throughout. So you contact us anytime. Talk to us anytime. It's all for you. It is all for the veteran. It's all for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all for you. Enjoy and carry on this ride. Take yourselves to that level that you can get to, and we're here to help you get there. That's all for me for the moment. I'll speak to you later.
Thank you, Ed. So definitely the aspect of going on is the voting system. Right now, there was an entire chart of seriously big projects that we're incorporating. We're incorporating through an entity which is actually going through one of the Hondo Club members, and it actually introduced us to one of these 4 problems as legal advice. That needs to be voted on, and you guys have to have a meeting about it through the leadership if that's going to be something that we want to implement within our membership tiers and those kind of things. So we got the business coaching, we have all those other aspects, and we're going to have some fantastic wisdom with financial coaching, hopefully for the veteran community. So these are just things that we're taking it step by step. We're not trying to grow and be the next superpower like a Facebook or overtake them. No, we're trying to fine tune, polish, make sure every single veteran is taken care of from the ground up, and then they can give back. That's our first primary, and that's to see hey, it's our sandbox right now. We also need to find out. This was all been speculation. And it seems logical in the head, but is it actually going to work? We don't know, but it is working. So what we got going on is actually, thank God, is really clicking. So a couple aspects pertaining to the votes. This whole system's run on a democratic system. So we have a link which I'll drop in later into the box. Is that you're able to vote on any single thing that we can think of. Who's to promote? Which new organization are we going to network with? How much are we going to be saving on? The new logo designs, the amount that we recommend that everyone donates per month, the legal aspect, the membership tiers, what kind of amount that should be for extra services. Again, people need to eat and feed too. So it's finding that fine line that nobody really knows just yet. Because like he said, most of the money, 99% of it goes back to the veterans. The only way I personally earn money is through advertisements from Google. That's it. So it's more of a giveaway. Another aspect is, are we going to choose to follow? And this is a big one that needs to be voted on. Are we going to allow that other 6% to stay on the sideline and not become Hondo members? And I don't want to sway anybody. I want people to have their own opinion on that. And that's, you're talking about what they didn't receive a general honorable discharge or an honorable discharge. They got caught drinking and they got discharged by the command or something in the nature. But you know what? If we don't pick them up, which the rest of the organizations aren't, they are not, they become what we call a revolving door. So they now become into the drugs. They become into the thieving. They become the robbers. They become why? Because nobody's picking them up. They're just leaving them to the sideline. All right. So we're going to move right on to the membership tiers, which he touched about, and you guys got to vote on that. And I really want to introduce Megan. If she can take over for a little bit. That would be great. And I want to definitely thank you so much for spending your time in this afternoon on a nice Sunday day. So thank you so much. What you got for me, Megan?
Absolutely. So hopefully I can add value to you and to your group. I work with Primerica. So we are a broker dealer, and there's a lot that we offer, and we don't charge to do what we do. So I think it follows what I have a heart for helping people. And this is the veterans. My husband was a veteran, my family, both my grandpas. So it's the very least that I can do personally. If there's something that I can share knowledge or, any way to help that's why I'm here. So when we do, what I do is we get on client appointments. Again, we don't charge to do anything. And we just look at people's financial situation. Do you have retirement plans? Do you have any investments? Do you have an existing emergency account? Do you have life insurance? Do you have, if you've got Medicare, then I'm senior healthcare certified. So we can see if there's maybe a better plan that we can get you on to save you money through Medicare. We are partnered with Legal Shield. So anybody that doesn't have a will, if you need just kind of ongoing legal expenses, you get 25% off of legal expenses. It's a monthly subscription type of thing. I think I saw someone was already talking about that in your group. So I definitely don't want to step on any toes. That's just one of the pieces of things that we offer. We are partnered with a company that does home and auto insurance. So no charge phone call. We can maybe save somebody money on their home and auto insurance. And one of the best things is we offer employment. So I have a team, I build my team, I train them. And I actually think of it that I've got my soldiers. So nobody gets a financial education. So I'm building my team of soldiers and I'm sending them out to be able to help people. The more people that we teach, the more they can help. So as far as what we do, we teach people exactly what it is, how we do. They can join with us. They can become a financial advisor. Some people like to do the recruiting end of things. Some people only want to do the advising end of things, but it's definitely something that I can offer anybody, any of the vets. As long as you're 18, you can pass background check, and you're a US citizen, you can join with us, and kind of we're happy to wrap our arms around you and teach you what we know, and then you can go out and help other people. So like I said, employment, and that's why I love the buddy system thing you were talking about. Spouses and like husband and wives that do it together are phenomenal, because some people want to talk to the husband, some people want to talk to the wife. Before I did this, my husband and I were actually home inspectors, so we ran into that all the time, where you just have one person that kind of gels with the other person a little bit better, and the teamwork. So you can have husbands and wives together, you can have brothers do it together. Just, the teamwork is where it really, really works, because you're learning together. You get your life insurance license. Then you have opportunities to get your securities licenses. You can get your mortgage loan origination license. So that's the other thing that we do with the mortgages. So someone, maybe if they've got a high interest rate mortgage, we can do mortgage loan origination. Just anything, like the entire person perspective is what we do. So it's not just a one, you go to these financial advisors, and they're all stuffy, and they're sitting in their big buildings, and they're kind of looking down at you. It's not like that. Like, you get me on a Zoom or in person, and we just talk, and there's no judgment. Whatever situation that you're in, if there's a way to help, then we help. And we have a much more personal relationship with people. So like, they have our cell phone number, we talk to them, we can sit down on a Sunday afternoon or whatever. It's not 9 to 5 kind of stuffy type of thing. So it's more appealing, and it's more friendly, and it's a wonderful, loving environment. We're a faith-based company. So we were founded about 47 years ago by teachers and coaches to combat those great big insurance companies who only want to make the money and not worry about what's best for the people. So we only have one type of insurance, and it's the term life insurance. It's renewable till you're 100. There's no war and terrorism clause. So like on 9/11, our company is the only one that paid out. All those other people, they were like, nope, that's terrorism. So they didn't pay out their claims. So it's a very good company. We're on the New York Stock Exchange. It's a very good company. I'm very proud. We have a lot of our products. Like we do our own things. So we've got our own investment products. We have our own life insurance, so that we can, when we're talking to people about it, we have these things. We know they work. We know that they're good. So, like I said, just foundationally, anything to help people you can't be solid in life if you don't have your finances in place. It's just like you have to have your spiritual health in place and your mental health in place. It's just a piece of the puzzle. And anything that I can do to facilitate making, someone whole, then that's what I'm here for.
So that is spot on to what we're trying to do. It's a holistic point of view. It's that emotional, financial, spiritual, the whole purpose, the whole thing. And there's very few companies. I think even statistically, I think there's companies that hit one or two of those points. So we're able to produce that because of members like Joe or Ian or Ryan or Ed or myself or, whoever it may be, or Danny. Bob, we all bring our own skills together, and that's why our system works. And I thank you so much for being here. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great way to have an education-based system as well for finances, because we're going to scale, and we're going to scale at an extremely rapid rate. That's not a question. The question is how long can we keep the dogs off the leash, on the leash? That's really our problem right now. We don't want anybody going out and biting. Am I right on that, Joe? All right.
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna spin off a little bit before we get to some nice news from Ed. I want to say, how's everyone doing? We got Ryan here. He's one of our veterans that he's reached out for help, and we were able to funnel a little bit of money to him from the community thus far. He can vouch on that we were able to support each other in that aspect, because everyone knows right now that he's in a dire situation until we can get him on his feet 100%, and his family. So me and Finch have pitched in a couple dollars for him and his family. We've done what we can on that. And we just keep pressing that until we can get him more stabilized and VA claim wise and everything. So get him. Ian's going to get him onto some business entrepreneurship. Maybe we get some financial coaching on some aspects. Get him a full rounded aspect. So what do you got? What do you got, Master Ed?
Right. Yeah. So just picking up on that. Yeah. We've pitched into Ryan and we'll continue to do that. This is really as part of what we've set up and what we want to carry on doing or will carry on doing. If any members are in dire financial need, part of the fundraising part of Hondo is so that we can be there to support our buddies. What we're trying to build here, and we know we can build, is one family, one big family. And yeah, like all families, they'll be some very close, some not so close, but that's just normal families. But we are one family. If anybody needs help, they get help. And this is a feed off from military life. We're here, we've got everybody's back. Everybody's got everybody's back. There's going to be people here. Everybody's going to have specialisms. And that's exactly as it should be. And that's how it is in life. So, yeah. So, welcome, Ryan. And hopefully I can spend some time chatting with you. Ian, yeah, you've got your floor up.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off that because I've been I do a lot of social media with my business, so I'm seeing it all the time. So I see all the people posting all these negative things. And one thing I noticed in there, and I'm really looking forward to, and is when I can sit there and I can just tell people, because they'll list veterans as, you know, disadvantaged people, and I want to sit there and get to a point where I can sit there and go, don't worry about veterans, we look after our own. Because as much as everybody tries to admit that there isn't a separation between citizen and veteran, there is. Ever since Vietnam, veterans are actually lower than citizens in status in the United States of America alone. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. I'm not there. I can't speak about it. But I can't wait till we get to the point where it's veterans look after our own. And we're not in that position where we're all, you know, you go to a bar and the people that are rowdy in the corner of the veterans, and everybody's like towards them. You know what I mean? And even if they do that, we're together as a group and we're stronger instead of just being the angry drunks. So I'm really looking forward to the point when we get that far. Even just that far is a huge step forward, in my opinion.
Thank you. Yes, I've said this. If anybody has any questions for me at any time, this is my policy, just my way. You can ask me anything you want, so you'll get straight answers. Even if it's, I can't tell you that because it's confidential. It might happen occasionally, but I'll tell you why. But no, you can ask me anything. One of the things I've said on record is I'm not a veteran. I've never had the opportunity to serve. However, I've worked in the voluntary sector a long time, and I've always had in my mind that I felt that the way veterans are treated isn't right to me. And I just felt that there needed to be something better done. And this is why one of the main reasons Chris and I got together and been pushing like crazy for this. We want a completely different world. So this, I'm just touching back again on the vision. We want that better world, and we're going to do our utmost to achieve it. So anyway, a little bit about news, because you want some updates on some of the things we're doing. And I've got a little list. I'm not going to spend too long on these. This is just to give you an insight into some of the things that are coming and some of the things we're working on. And at the end, we're going to ask you for more input and ideas. But this is a lot of these things we're going to debate and discuss when the point at which we feel like they're developed enough to bring into the news. This is just really a heads up. So in no particular order, we've already talked about Ryan, so I won't go through that too much. I'm going to touch on to the next one. I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit and get ourselves a little bit more loosened up with some comedy. No, I'm not going to start telling you jokes, but you guys and ladies can, because yes, that is something we've got in mind. That is something we want to bring in and discuss. Is we're thinking about different options. We're thinking about maybe getting some comedians to come and do some short slots. Maybe it could be webinars, maybe it could be recorded pieces, live pieces, short sessions, and our members as well. Any aspiring comedians? We think it's nice, not all serious. Yeah, we're all working hard, and we can do with some lighter moments. So comedy is on the agenda. And actually, you probably noticed that comedy is one of the groups we've set up in Hondo. So that is something that we've definitely got on the agenda to bring in, and to
This is the think tank, right? So this is the think tank. This is what this is for. And it says, hey, what is this? This is what we're thinking. What are you guys thinking? You know, should we go for it? What do you guys, just open it up, shoot away, the range is hot. The range is hot.
Well, we've had at the VFW here locally, we've had some combat veterans that had a comedy special that they did, which went over really well as well. And I know it's comedy, like you said, Ed. I mean, comedy it relieves a lot of stressors. It gets your mind off of stuff, everything else, and enjoys you to relax, decompress and relieve all the stress and stuff like that. I think it's great to have somewhere be able to, place it in certain things, or maybe somewhere with our programs or something like that, to have that ability to where, like, if someone's stressed out or whatever, it's like, yeah, here, check this out, and something that might just cheer them up or something like that, or just take something off their mind for a little bit. That works. I mean, but that's also, you can do comedy, music, stuff like that. There's always those things, like with me, it's music. If I get because of my past with the military, either I'll work on my lights or I will go ahead and listen to music, and just kind of get my head back into sync on other things and away from other stuff that I don't need to be thinking about. So I think that's great.
I was going to say an idea that we could do too is if we did have a whole bunch of people who started doing like their own little comedic skits or whatever and recorded things, we could have a place where we basically get them all posted. And then depending on how much time we have, might be able to show like 4 or 5 minutes during each weekend like that, like right now, because we're ahead of schedule right now by quite a bit. So we have a lot of extra time on our hand. Throw in whoever won as the one that everybody like amongst. I'm not sure if we should vote it as in everybody in the whole group or if just which one's leadership like, but I'd prefer to have it, if everyone votes on it. You've probably already seen it, but it'd still be fun to see it and go, yeah, that's the one that I liked, and just be kind of fun. And then everybody gets to kind of laugh about
come
it.
on, Ian, come on. If Starship Troopers was on reruns every weekend, you tell me you won't be there?
I mean, it's the only movie that's made its own memes. So
I'm just saying, it's every cat got its flavor, right? So,
Right. Well, Ian, like I've down when I was at Fort Hood, I was on the 88 and we did a tank trail. We went down into a mud pit. I mean, and I had all this water come up the front of the 88 and it literally went up into my helmet, and I was covered in mud. I could do a little clip or something like that, and we could put like little memes of, our Army memes or something like that, or Air Force or Marine, whatever, little funny memes or something like that would be, comedic right there, something like that. Even though that'd be personal for me, but still.
It's like it's like for me, I have a kind of personal one too, although I don't think anybody recorded it. But there was we were on our way to deployment in Afghanistan. We got flash deployed, so we had to deploy 2 months early, right? So our bus is going down the road from 29 Palms, California to whatever city we were taking off from. It's like 4 hours away from 29 Palms. And on our way, this bus had been broken down, was on the side of the street. This is in the desert in California. So, people don't want to be out there like that. And it figures out that this was actually a cheerleader team for one of the professional football teams. So you have a bunch of Marines who are all out cold on the bus. Like we're all sleeping, because it's Marines. You give us 5 seconds to do nothing. We're either joking, having fun, or passed out. And so we're all passed out. But then all these cheerleaders get on. I swear I've never had a funnier time in my life. There were so many jokes that you couldn't, like, it got to the point where we were drunk from laughing. Like we would laugh at anything because everybody was laughing so hard. And we took them, and then, you know, we went on our way and got strapped into the plane and flown off in a whatever they flew us off in. And it was, but yeah, but you could, that scene right there, if anybody had even recorded like part of that, it'd be hilarious. But of course, they're military jokes, so none of them are really. A lot of the jokes definitely far from appropriate.
So, hey, we'll shoot over to Bob and Ryan. What do you guys got? I mean, we'll hit to Megan. What do you guys think about this comedy aspect a little bit? It could be music, entertainment. We'll just fold it under that umbrella of entertainment. Maybe we can go out we'll go out, me and a couple guys, a couple of the NCOs in our group. We'll go out and knock on some big organizations to get football tickets or whatever, there's tons of entertainment out there, so it might be something just kind of cool. We're playing with it.
Yep.
Do we have any more news to go over?
Yeah, you got more news coming. I've only done the first one. Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of news. We got
a lot of news. Right. So next one on my list is we've put Chris has sent an email out, and we're waiting for news on this. We're waiting some, no pun intended, we're waiting for some feedback. We've had this plan for some time. We will be bringing in church services. We'll be bringing in a minister. We're not entirely certain who we're going to get yet, but we will be providing religious services, and that's going to be a feature. At the moment, it's going to be more Christian-based, but we're looking for the right minister to cater to the needs of veterans. So we're reaching out and we're searching and we're seeing who's best placed to meet religious needs for those who want it and need it. Because this is going back to what the majority of people are used to in military life. And this is also part of the vision. We want to create that comfort zone. Everything you've experienced, good side, and everything you've been through, good side, bringing that sort of comfort zone into civilian life and your vet life. So that's something that we're exploring at the moment. So I'm just it's a heads up. It's early days yet. It's still in development. That'll be coming. I'm going to move quickly on to the next one on my list. This is potentially a big one, a very big one. We've been invited to speak on a podcast, and not just any podcast. It's in the top 13 of podcasts, and this is a veteran-run podcast. And I'll let Chris tell you a lot more because he's the guy that found it, and he knows. He's probably the best person to tell you a little bit more about the podcast. We both had the meeting, and they are so up for it.
So thank you so much, guys, and Ed, thanks for passing that. So it's called Homefront SitRep, and they really vetted us. I'm telling you, they almost did like a top secret clearance check on us. They did a background check. They make sure we're legit, and the only thing they didn't do is talk to my my next door neighbor when I was a kid. They didn't go that far. They didn't do the FBI check stopped somewhere, right? The top secret clearance. So they did their homework on us. They really made sure we're a great organization. What we're doing is for the right reasons, and we've passed all those tests. So now we get to go on the national stage, and that's coming up in a couple months, and that's huge. It's huge. It just means that what we're doing is actually going to work, and it's going to change the face of everything that's happening. So this is going to be where we can invite as many individuals as we want, but we want to keep it to the leaderships for now, because those are the ones and the individuals who are going to keep the direction. They see the vision, they see what's going on, and we can't do it ourselves. That's why we can't. Me and Fitch can't do it by ourselves. That's why we're saying help us, help you. And it's vice versa too. You're saying help me, help you. So it's really the greatest system design. I can't wait. We're going to start the program launch and the hype very, very shortly. We're going to start making videos. We're going to have video collaborations with it. We're going to give us a couple months to really get as many of the top individuals with, Brahmer and, Capitol Hill into this. The Capitol Hill is already shopping at us. So we're really been trying to fend off the dogs. We're like saying, no, stay on the leash, stay on the leash. We're not ready. We're not ready for that. We don't want to be ready for that because we want to make sure everybody's taken care of the right way. Do it right or don't do it at all. That's always the way I've stuck with it. So I am super excited about this. This is like I'm not, I feel like we're not ready, but you know what? Everyone else is saying, Chris, let's go. Chris, let's go. Let's do this. There's too many veterans that are not getting the help right now, not getting the solved problem. And so what do you guys think about this whole idea? What do you guys think about this massive push on a national scale? And eventually it's obviously, but we're getting our foothold.
I'll just pitch something extra into that. They didn't just check us out and didn't just offer us to speak on their podcast. They were extremely, extremely impressed. Like wow was coming out a lot during the meeting. So we capitalized on that and we said to them, well, we're going to be doing some webinars and seminars a little bit later on. And would you like to come on? And bear in mind, this podcast has guests on there who are connected to Capitol Hill. We've got some major, major hitters. They didn't just say yes, they would love to come and do podcasts with us. They said, we will bring our top guests to appear on your webinars. They're going to bring some of the biggest names to come to us and appear on our events.
So I have a small question for that. So, do we want to try and get our platform ready beforehand? Because once you get those top names in there, whether we want them to and are ready for them or not, the floodgates are going to be open. So my two-part question is, one, do we have our platform ready for it? And two, are we able to ask them to, like, for example, do they have us slotted for a specific date, or are we able to go, hey, we're not going to be ready at this date. Can we push it to later? Or are we able to negotiate the timing for that?
Right. So to answer those in reverse, right, I'll just quickly pick on those. Yeah, in terms of the dates, yes, we said we are going to be doing webinars and we will be doing seminars every 3 months. We said that's something in the pipeline. So yes, we will be able to pick dates and coordinate those and do those. In terms of the first question, yeah, that was also on my news coming up in a moment. So we'll bring that up now just to answer your question. Yeah, Chris has been working on Amazon Web Service, one of the biggest hitters in terms of the power of a server, and we've got a meeting coming up this week to talk to the web provider to get us onto a faster server. So that is very, very much on the agenda to get the fastest server we can. It comes at a price, a literal price, but we're going to get the best deal we can get, and we're going to be moving into that as fast as possible. Yeah. Anything else you want to add on to that, Chris, quickly?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Yeah, there's so many things that we talk about, and it's just like, I'm always on to the next thing and the next thing. Where we got, where's this vision at? So, yes, we're gonna link up with Amazon servers, cloud servers. They're the most powerful CPUs because everything comes down to a CPU. If you know anything digitally, it comes down to that CPU. So no matter what we do, there's going to be, and this server is going to provide up to the 18.5 million veterans that we're looking to serve in the United States alone, not including the global hemisphere. And then the active duty. So we'll be able to scale accordingly with ease, and we'll have spike transfers. So let's say we get a massive traffic, right? And right now our server is going to crash and burn, and it'll be like my phone. It's like Terminator. It's going to start melting, literally. That's the way it goes. So, so we got a solution to that problem. We're going to implement it ASAP. And if I was to give a good, solid answer, I would say we're going to launch the pre-beta, the beta launch for the social app, which will increase the servability by the Republic by 88%. So that should be done by April. So our appointment, I believe, is in May with the podcast one.
Yep.
And right,
16th, I think it was.
so it's a real tight rope to make sure that those things are launched on time. It's a ton of man hours, it's a ton of dollars, and we're making it work wherever we can. So, and again, we're only going to do this as built from the ground up with nothing or something. You know, some people throw money at projects to see if it works. No, we've succeeded by making sure we solve a problem for everybody. Joe, what do you got? You seem like you're itching over there. What do you got for me?
Yeah, well, like we've discussed before, it's all about let's make sure we have everything in place before we jump. That's the biggest thing. I don't want us to have such a great opportunity and then all of a sudden we miss something, you know, and something's not in place to be able to handle what we need to handle, and then we're scrambling to try to get stuff taken care of. I mean, I think that we're building everything we're doing right now is on track, and we're making sure that we're using our collective, you know, minds to make sure that we got everything covered. But you know, as I said, you know, before, we need to make that timeline out. We need to make sure that we're looking at our goals and, you know, make sure that everything, you know, visually is looking right, that we're not missing anything. Because you know, this podcast, like you said, I mean, this is going to open up. And Ian said, you know, it's going to open the floodgates, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, cat's out of the bag, you know. So now it's like, all right, here we go, and you know, we're going to do enormous great things for the veterans, and I'm extremely excited about this. You know, I cannot wait to be able to go out locally here and hit all the organizations I know that are around here and start talking to the veterans, and like, I know you need help. I know that you know, are by yourself, you know, and you are looking for camaraderie. You know, here, reach out to these, you know, this organization, and we're here to help you out. You know, I just found out about a veteran that is by himself. His wife passed away a couple of years ago, and he's got nobody. You know, and you know, and this one lady that I was talking to was telling me about it. She goes, "Yeah, I see him once in a while, but he's got nobody at all." You know, and he just sits in his house, and he's a Vietnam vet, you know, and he's got no family. It was just his wife. She passed away a couple of years ago. That kills me, knowing that there's no other veterans around looking out for him, helping him out, because that's a lifetime, you know, that's a lifetime family right there that should have been there for him. So us going ahead and doing what we're doing right now, you know, and the opportunity that we have, you know, let's just keep going. But I can't stress it enough because I've seen it happen before. Let's just make sure we got everything covered. I know Chris and I know Ed and Ian and everybody else. I know that we're doing the best we can, but you know, I know we're going to probably miss something, you know, because we're not perfect. But I just can't wait for the opportunity. You know, this is going to be a crazy year with everything going on. I'm telling you, personally for me too, and then
Amen.
it's going to be crazy.
Can I tag onto that real quick though?
Sure.
So the one thing that I'm trying to push on most isn't necessarily the website. I want us to have our structure set up right. Like we need to have the leaders in the right position. We need to have the actual structure and idea of what we're doing as an organization hammered out, because without that, it doesn't matter if we have the biggest server on the earth. It doesn't whatever we've got, you know, once those floodgates hit, those of us who are there, if we're not set up with that leadership structure, if we're not set up with our systems in place, it doesn't matter how many people we got, we won't be able to handle it. That's what I was trying to refer to.
It's a great point.
Talking about the website.
Right.
So my apologies for not being clear on that.
Oh yeah, you're talking about literally. So that's why I said, we don't want to push out too much. Just one vet a month. Every person here gets one vet a month. We can scale it properly. We can figure out, okay, we need to hammer out a more systematic webinar training system. Okay, we need to hammer out a better uh, program for their funnels for their own business, which they're going to get. So that's why we don't want to chew too much and without that perfection. So that's why the biggest suggestion I could say is, just one vet per month. And if you guys feel like if we can handle more, we'll handle more. If you guys feel like, hey, we can't handle it, take it slow and steady. Otherwise, we're just going to explode and it's going to implode, and we don't want that situation. What do you got there, Megan? I see you itching with something. I could see the brain ticking. It's working.
I see her writing.
No,
Oh, yeah, she's scribbling. She's like,
I know she's scribbling.
I'm just taking all kinds of notes. I'm taking it in. I think you're absolutely correct. You've got to have that structure in place so that when somebody comes in, you need to be able to funnel them where they need to go. So I'm just taking it all in and taking notes. I didn't have anything really, stellar to add to your, but anything that I can do, like I said before, just we're happy to help. And my husband joined us. He's my vet. So
thanks for serving family, entire family. Thanks for serving. You got any questions for us? I mean, this is your first time, so maybe you got some questions for us vets about what we do, what we can do for, et cetera, et cetera.
So kind of explain to me, if you don't mind, the setup. So is it we're trying to help in all areas? So housing, counseling, financial, employment, this is the goal, to have everything in one place, because right now there's just not that system, correct? Okay.
Correct.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it will be. We're working towards that. We're not going to be able to do it all in house, so there's more than we've been able to tell everybody about going on behind the scenes that Chris and I have been developing and working on. So we're just disseminating as much as we can and getting it out of our heads, because we're constantly talking about this. But yes, we will be bringing in other service providers. Every organisation that comes in is going to be fully vetted, and they're going to be the best that we can get, and they're going to meet the needs of veterans, and they're going to be reliable, and they've got your best interests above everything else, particularly above making money. It's not about that. It's about how good the service is that they can provide. So yeah, we will be a one-stop shop eventually for everything that veterans need. And as also alongside that, one of the key elements for us is veterans trained to help other veterans, not just willingly helping, but upskilled, collective mind. This is why I talked about the collective mind. We're all going to be helping each other. The leadership team will be being leaders and training the next generation. As more new veterans come in, they will be trained up in whatever specialism they want. Everything is going to be in-house. And this is why the vision is really serious and long-term. The times and dates will evolve because we're moving so fast. We do have some ideas of when we want to do things. It depends how quickly we can get them set up and in place and solid. We don't want to do anything that is half-hearted or half-cocked. It's got to be just like the military, 90 to 95% planning, and the rest is implemented. The rest is the delivery of the mission. So all the planning's got into this. There's a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to move us on very quickly on the last couple of bits of news, because I'm conscious of time, and just say there'll be lots of questions on lots of these news items, and there'll be lots of opportunity to ask us more, and that's what we want. We want to discuss these. I'm just giving you a quick insight into some of the things that are coming up. One of the others is, as Chris alluded to earlier, there's a big question around dishonourable discharge, and the fact that 16% come out for dishonourable discharge because they've fallen foul of very, very strict rules in the military. And we collectively are going to have to make some decisions about where we draw the line. what things are acceptable and what are not acceptable, whether we're taking all those people in, or there's some cases where we can't. It's a big subject, and it's not something we can touch tonight, but we can all start thinking about it, and it's part of this. No one gets left behind. Give people the best chance. I've done it in my business with my social enterprises before. I've taken the people who were on the scrap heap, and I've totally changed their lives, and I can see that happening here with veterans. So that's something that we definitely want to do. Yeah,
Right,
the
that
last
falls
thing
right,
on
that
my
falls,
last
yeah.
last thing on my list, just to very very quickly, is a resource that is available for you all. And I'm not sure that people have noticed it yet, but when you go to the groups that we've set up, each group has a book in there, a synopsis of one of the best-selling books on that subject, and those are available for you to read. And you don't have to read the full book. There's a full synopsis. They're ready for you in each group. And with the paid memberships, we're going to make available a library as well. So if it's, for example, it was one of Chris's favourite books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, rather than have to read the full book, we've got a detailed synopsis for you of really important books on a very wide range of subjects. This is something that we planned at an early stage, and it's a resource that I've got access to, and I can get probably most books done that way for you. It's something else that we're going to do. So that's just very, very briefly the key headlines of some of the news that's coming, some of the things that are coming. Just to give you that.
Ryan, you got anything for us, buddy?
No, nothing right now. I'm just listening in so I can take it all in, figure out what all is actually happening.
All right.
Everything.
May I
thanks for
make a
joining us,
quick
Ryan.
suggestion? Oh yeah. Quick suggestion when we're deciding on what to do with dishonorable vets, I would recommend we have an attorney, because there's a lot of laws between what dishonorable vets can do with businesses that have ties to any government agency. So if we're getting information from active duty for veterans, we might be barred out by law from interacting with dishonorable vets for up to 4 to 10 years, depending on when that dishonor comes out. So I highly recommend that we get an attorney specializing in that product, so a military attorney, before we make any votes on that, because otherwise we could be breaching something that will shut down everything that we do.
That's a great point.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah.
Hey, without this think tank, we'd be broken before we even think.
Yeah, exactly.
We knew it was a big subject. We knew it's something that had to be thought through first. We just touched on it, and we thought, yeah, this is going to take a lot of consideration.
But I'm also thinking afterwards we could have a review board, or members that would do like a review board type deal, and then we can weigh the options or go from there. Have a guideline.
All right. Before we can let Megan go here, so she can run away and get back to, the family life and things like that.
Right.
So I want to bring up to you that one of the major aspects. So we have actually a lot of aspirations that we're going to accomplish. We want the active duty event. So this is the veteran system that we're designing, correct? And we want to do the active duty as the transitional, so we get them before they're transitioning out and airdropped into society, as Mr. Finch coined, and left with nothing to go with. It's back onto mommy and daddy, or whatever the situation is, depending on the age or the financial capabilities and so many other factors, right? So we, on top of that, after we create the active duty one, is the family support network. And that we want to run parallel. So you being here are the very select few that we are willing to say, yes, we voted, said, okay, how can we run parallel as a brother and sister organization without interfering with each other, but taking care of each other at the same time. Because as a spouse, you're dealing with somebody who has post-traumatic stress disorder or a loss of limb or something like that. This is extreme stress for a family members. And it's an extreme life change. So it's equally, and if not more, just important to the veteran as well. So that's something that if you're on board for that, we really want to be able to say, whatever you're thinking, shoot it out. And again, I think that would be extremely helpful for the long term, because it allows us to paint the picture of what we can do with veterans and what they feel comfortable with and what we can't, and they want to keep separate. So for example, if I go to the spousal one, I'm not going to talk about my post-traumatic stress disorder, right? But I go to the veteran one, I will. So these are the type of things that I will feel comfortable talking with Joe about. I'll feel comfortable talking about Ian, because other individuals have seen people explode with a 50 caliber round and turn into mist. You know, these are the type of things that can be discussed. And we don't need family members to hear that, especially with kids and stuff like that. So we really want to keep them separate, but parallel. So how do you sound about heading that mission? That is a huge mission. That is not something that can be done in one day. That's a long-term project. And don't take your decision today, but I think that's something, being your heart and your generosity and your humility you showed, I think that is like heartfelt, right up your alley. You know, so what do you think? What do you think about that? So
just add a very quick, to say, with our support, of course, with full support from everybody.
Absolutely. Like I said, anything, it's my pleasure to be able to help in any way that I can. And I would be happy to help in any of those areas. The active duty ones, you know, they're going to need employment and things, so I can help there. And the family support, definitely. Throw whatever you can my way. I have a wonderful team as well. So I have people that I can bring along if there's, you know, if I get overwhelmed, I've got people that I can also rely on that I trust. So yeah, absolutely. The family thing would be wonderful. And I can absolutely relate, you know, having family members. So definitely, absolutely. I think it's wonderful.
That's awesome.
I have a quick question on the tail end of all this, and it's for you, Megan. So I'm noticing your hair is like shifting blue as you move around. So I'm wondering, is that like some sort of special hair dye? Do you have like a lens above you?
No,
It's badass.
so working from home, I have this giant, beautiful picture window. And as the sun changes, I'm I'm just now seeing what you're talking about. Yeah, I have a blue background behind me, and I'm kind of getting that in the picture as well. So yeah, I like to change it up every once in a while. I'll put a pink one back there tomorrow.
it's literally like changing your living room without having to move the furniture. So you'd be like, I live somewhere else today.
I want that shampoo, the chameleon shampoo. I want that one. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, is it like a chameleonized thing? Do you have like a little button just
anything to put some color in this hair?
Could definitely invent something like that. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Mark that down for next invention.
That on there.
All right, everyone. I believe that about wraps it up. Do we have anything else to discuss, or is it pretty much?
I want to throw definitely one thing. If anybody can support Ryan right now, and if they have the financial means to throw him $5, $10 or whatever, if he has a PayPal, you don't even have to go through the organizations, and we could save on the organization's collection, because we could save on the fees. Right. If you got it, you're willing to do it, help him out until we can get him on his feet 100% and reinvent him and 100% into Hondo, and Ian can pick him up as well and get him some employment and keep going with that. So that's just one of the 100,000 more people we got to be doing this with. So we're gonna really figure out how to iron this out, guys.
That's all I got. Do.
Amen.
All right.
I'm just gonna have to add one thing in the very sadly for the next couple of meetings. I'm away. I'm heading off very early tomorrow morning. I'm going to be away, and I'm already 6 hours ahead here in France. I'm going to be another additional 7 hours ahead. So time zones is going to be totally out the window for the next couple of weeks, so I most likely won't be able to make the meeting for the next couple of weeks. But I will be in constant contact. My phone is there. I'm going to be on chat and everything. all the time. So I'm going to be connected. I'm taking pen, paper, and notes and everything with me to. I don't stop. In fact, even in my sleep, I'm thinking about ideas.
Safe travels.
I was thinking about your lighting business in the night yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah. So, yeah, that's
Safe
me.
travels,
So,
Ed.
yeah. Thanks very much, mate. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, and thanks everybody, because this is pretty amazing. This is our dream. It's all your dreams, and they're happening. They're happening. So proud to be part of it.
Stay safe till next Sunday, everyone. And then Ed, you have a bit longer of an extension on that stay safe demand. It's not a request, it's a demand. It's
Nice
an
to meet you,
order.
Maggie.
Oh, yeah, amen.
It's nice
for
to meet
coming.
you. Thank you
It's a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
it's been a
nice to
real
meet
pleasure.
everybody.
Take care.
Real
Bye-bye.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care. Yeah, cheers.